going? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video vlog on a 335 Xdrive, which is down here, the F30. I should have really bought my F30 320d just to compare how the two look, but I've ended up bringing my 140 down. Now here's something for you guys before we get onto this clip. You know, I had this splitter put on. Well, check this out. There's a chunk missing. I went over a speed bump and that happened, so if you are looking into getting some kind of splitters and side kits for your car, that will happen. So yeah, anyway, let's not divert from the main topic here. It is quite sunny today, nice sky, so yeah, you might see me squinting. I don't have my sunglasses with me either. We're going to be going out in this Astoria Blue 335d. It's quite a performance oriented diesel. Not obviously no M car, but the performance under that car is quite significant. Stock, it has about 330 horsepower. This thing we've had the dyno tested. I'll throw some of those shots in throughout this video. This is pushing out about 330 with about 660 newton meters of torque at the crank. So yeah, let's go and have a little look around this car, the spec, etc., and then we'll take you out on the road. So guys, here we go. Here's the 335d F30. A little bit about this car. It's a pre-LCI car, but it's a highly spec'd one. So these lights here, they're the full adaptive LED headlights. It's got the 704 alloy wheels, and the best thing personally I like about this car is the Superman spec. Now a lot of people don't really like the Astoria Blue with the red coral red Dakota leather. Personally, I'm a fan because obviously I've got it in my M140i, albeit that's a black car with the red leather. I quite like it. It's quite highly spec'd. It's got the Harman Kardon Auto Gearbox Pro Nav. It's even got the adaptive suspension, which on a F30, you know, you don't really get many of them. Moving around the back, we've got this kind of a lip spoiler. It's got a high kick to it. It's finished off in Astoria Blue as well, and it has got the LCI lights on the rear. Now these, although they are kind of a plug and play, you do have to mess about with the wiring loom, because obviously on the LCI this is all an indicator, so for it to blink from there and there's a bit of a linkage in the wiring loom. I've kind of seen a few YouTube videos out there how to do it. I don't have to do that on this video, but it's there anyway. And around the back end you've got the twin exhaust pipes. Now my F30 320d has the same kind of setup, so you notice that this car is fully debadged around the back. So personally, this car is the ultimate sleeper car because it essentially looks like a 320d. One thing that I will point out is, being the Xdrive, it does sit a little bit taller compared to like a non-Xdrive car. So guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the car out for a drive. I'm not really going to compare this to, like, say, my F30, because obviously that's a 2-litre diesel. This is a 3-litre straight 6 diesel. But what's going to be interesting here is the amount of torque that this car's got compared to, like, say, my there it is, the M140i and the 320d. The 320d has about 400 newton meters of torque. This is pushing out about 630. And also, guys, I was out in the F80 M3. That had about 550 newton meters of torque. So obviously more power, horsepower, but less torque. It'll be interesting to see how this kind of performs, and whether this is, like, say, the ultimate sleeper car to go for after one of those. I think the camera's going to be a little bit dark here because there's a lot of blue sky and a lot of sun. I'm not going to complain because we don't really get much of that anyway in the UK, especially in February. But hey, we're just going to concentrate on this drive. The first thing I've noticed is how responsive this car is compared to the F30 320d that I've got. It's quite effortless. It doesn't even feel like a diesel because it's got that 3-litre straight 6 silky smooth twin turbo engine. This isn't a twin scroll, it's actually a twin turbo engine, so it's very responsive. You don't get any kind of turbo lag. It's very responsive. Like I said earlier on, this car was dyno tested and it was pushing out something in the region of about 660 newton meters of torque. That is mega. Has massive amounts of torque. It literally, you know, it's like, to put it into perspective, it's 160 newton meters of torque more than what my M140i is producing. This car's fitted with the adaptive suspension. I've kind of spoken about the adaptive suspension quite a lot in my M140i. It's a must-have. I don't have it in the 320d, and I can straight away notice how different it is in this. It's just so compliant. I've been going over like the same roads that I use my 320d in, and I'm just overwhelmed with how responsive this is. yeah, coming back to the adaptive suspension, it just rides so much better. You know, it just, you know, goes over these potholes and broken tarmac, you know, way more compliantly than my 320d does, and it's probably on par with, like, say, my 140, although my 140 has been lowered. The Xdrive in this, it's like, it really just glues you to the road. Still rear biased, I can feel it back there on that corner. It's still rear biased, but it really just hunkers down and takes you through these corners. Really effortless drive. Honestly, I do think that this is the ultimate sleeper car from a F30 perspective. You know, it's detached. You don't even know if it's a 320d, whether it's a, you know, 320i or a 328, 330i, or whatever the lesser models are. This definitely is the ultimate sleeper car, because you sort of turn up at a set of traffic lights next to any other car, and the way this thing is going to just shoot off the line, the other driver's going to be really, like, surprised. Just to kind of summarise on the drive and my first impressions of this car, obviously it's very responsive because, you know, like I said, all that amount of torque that's, you know, being delivered at 1500 RPM. In the 140, that torque kicks in more like, say, 17, 18, 100 revs, compared to, like, say, a standard 2-litre turbo diesel car like the 320d. It's much more quieter, it's much more refined. Obviously, again, it's really responsive. This has got the adaptive suspension, so it just feels way more compliant. Those few things have really made this car an interesting drive. I don't really know what else you could actually get for this type of money now. You know, whether you're looking at, like, say, well, you're going to be looking at a used sort of buy. I really think that this is a well balanced all-round package for the type of money and the type of car that this is. It's really impressive. I think what we're going to do now, guys, is we've got my M140i behind me, got my mate driving that. We're going to do some side-to-side pulls, obviously, you know, all dependent on traffic conditions and how safe it is. We're not going to go crazy on speed, but, you know, let's do something like, say, 30 to 60 pulls or something like that on, obviously, a national speed limit road. So yeah, let's see how that pans out. That'll be interesting to see how powerful this thing is and how responsive this is in terms of putting that torque down. Obviously, four-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, petrol versus twin-turbo diesel. They've both got a 3-litre straight-six engine, so and then that's the only thing they've probably got in common, and the ZF gearbox as well. So yeah, let's hit some roads and see how this goes. So guys, I'm now back in my M140i, and something bizarre just happened right now. If I take my camera out here, you might be able to see a cop car down there, somewhere down there. Now, what's happened is, we pulled into this car park, and the patrol car came in here, and the officers basically put their window down and they said that they watched my YouTube channel, and I thought that I was going to be in some serious amount of trouble. It was really bizarre because I felt a bit intimidated, but they started talking about M140i's and how they drive them and stuff, and yeah, just really bizarre. Anyway, let's get back to this video. What we're going to do now is, hopefully the officers are not watching, we're going to do some side-by-side pulls, obviously to the limit. We are going to hit some national speed limit roads, so we're going to be doing pulls off, like, say, 50 to 70. That's a disclaimer that I want to put out right there for you, officer. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're in 4th gear. Pretty much neck and neck. I've got the lead on him. So guys, that was 4th gear. We were doing, like, say, 40 miles an hour, and we accelerated to 70. I had a little bit of a jump on him and I maintained that jump. So that was just one run. We'll do another run doing the same kind of thing. We are going to stick the cars up to, like, say, 70 miles an hour. We're not going to go any higher than that. But having said that, I did have a little jump on him. So, and that jump basically, you know, it stayed the same all the way through. So it looked fairly consistent. But we're going to do the same again. Right, here we go. I've got him. That was from 30 miles an hour to about 70. We basically had him all the way. I don't think we got a jump on him this time. That 335 diesel, guys, you know, it's a powerhouse of an engine in that car. So guys, what we're going to do now, again, another national speed limit road. We're cruising at about 30 miles an hour. We're going to line up and we're gonna just go for it. Ready? He's got a jump. And I'm gaining on him. So guys, I think I'm going to conclude there in terms of these kind of drag races that we've been doing. The way I kind of see is the 335d, the torque comes in really early and it just pulls and pulls. Then it runs out of puff when it hits like say about 4,000 revs, whereas the 140 carries on all the way till about say 6,500, 7,000, and then you can change up. That's when this M140 starts taking the lead. I'm not even going to say that that's a slouch of a car, because it's not, because bear in mind that's a heavier car compared to this. So power to weight, like for like, I think they're pretty much even. That definitely is the ultimate sleeper car, you know, period. Honestly, I kind of think that, you know, 4-door saloon, D-badged, you don't know whether that's a 320d or a 335d Xdrive. Honestly, hats off to that car. So guys, just another thing to note, both of these cars are basically running stock. That's a bone stock 335d, even though it's performing something like, you know, 330 horsepower, 660 Newton meters of torque. My M140i, you know, you've seen the video where I've got the blue spark box on. At the moment, the blue spark box is off the car, so it's just standard. It's probably pushing out around 350 horsepower though, because I think that's what they usually push out compared to the stock numbers. But yeah, both cars are stock, so all those pulls that you saw, those were genuine. He knows his car, so he was driving that, and I was driving my M140i, so it wasn't even like, oh, you know, you don't even know the car, you know, so you were like letting off and stuff. So yeah, none of that stuff. So guys, I hope you found this video useful, informative and fun and entertaining and the rest of it. That 335d, guys, it's like I said before, it's no slouch. It's a proper performance car. Obviously not like your M3s or anything, but you know, if you are one of those that, one, obviously can't afford an M3, two, you want something for an everyday use, everyday drivability, that is the car. The M140i, obviously, you know, it's a dying breed. It's a last straight six cylinder turbo rear wheel drive setup. You're not going to see any more of these. That performs really well. I was so glad that you actually like beat the 335d Xdrive. However, having said that, you know, if I'm ever gonna say come out of say the 320d, for example, and I want to say, you know, have something a little bit more performance oriented and have the space, that is the car. And you can get that in the touring as well, which will be an absolute, you know, proper touring and big boot and all of that type of car. Anyway guys, I'm going to end the video here. Oh, before I do go, if you are new to the channel, we've just got our diesel that's starting up down here, so we're going to get a lot of diesel noise. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I've done quite a lot of content on the M140i, so be sure to go and check that out. Also guys, don't forget to check me out on my Instagram, which will drop down here somewhere, and have a Facebook page, which is the BMW M Performance Hot Hatch Club, which again I'll drop right now the diesel's gone. Also guys, the owner of this car, he also has the 440i with the MPPSK. Be sure to check that video out. We've done a dyno run on that car and the results of that were quite spectacular. What I'll do in the outro is I'm going to drop all of those dyno runs at the end here. Anyway guys, hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.